Immersed Visor is officially unveiled, and I was in Austin, Texas for the live event and a hands-on demo, and it was not at all what I expected. It's kinda crazy. The company has kept everyone on edge for months, promising something revolutionary: a lightweight, wearable productivity device with 4K micro OLED displays, offering multiple screens and immersive features, combining the form factors of glasses with the functionality of a VR headset, promising seamless integration of hand tracking, inside-out tracking, and more. The energy in the room was electric, and just as the keyword presentation was about to end, the cracks began to show. Here's everything I think about Immersed Visor after attending the keynote and hands-on testing of the headset. During the keynote, they revealed the weight of the device: 186 grams. That sounds promising for a VR headset, right? But here's a catch. The weight is achieved by offloading the battery, Wi-Fi, and Bluetooth into a separate pack tethered with a cable, much like the Apple Vision Pro headset. That's a bit less glamorous, but understandable. At this point, I was still hopeful. Renji spent a good deal of time talking about the headset's physical aspects, but the headset wasn't powered on. Odd, right? But there was a lot of talk about their vision for the future. The pricing was also revealed: $399 if you pre-order before October 1st, and $499 if after, with a subscription. Back to the design, they featured removable stems designed to wear the headsets like glasses or spectacles, and a more advanced head strap that should balance the visor really well without pressing it to your face. And this is where things started to feel a bit off. Circling back to the weight, they proudly compared it to Apple Vision Pro, Quest 3, and even his iPhone. But here's the problem. In the demo, the detachable stems were actually glued in, and they were not removable. The traditional head strap was not available for the demo, and all I saw was this 3D rendering on the screen. So they had the form factor of sunglasses, but the weight of a small headset. And I assume that that's how I should be wearing it. After all, this is how they promoted it everywhere in their marketing materials. But in reality, this form factor is impossible to stay in place. It's not a sleek pair of Ray-Bans, it was a VR device held together with a string at the back, literally. As it turns out, it is not supposed to be worn like sunglasses at all. It has a string at the back that also functions as a USB port. The visor rests entirely on your nose. Even though it's lighter, the weight isn't distributed evenly, and you need to tighten it, effectively turning the stems into, you guessed it, a head strap. And we're back to square one: a head strap that tightens on the back, pressing the headset to your face, causing the pressure on your nose because of the lack of the top strap. I didn't see the point of this at all, and I felt a bit deceived because one of the most exciting things about Visor for me was the ability to wear it like glasses, and I truly, honestly believe that that would be the case because of the many marketing materials that showed exactly that form factor. The cable is nowhere to be found in those images, so why wouldn't I expect this form factor? So I was told that the stems were their vision for the future of the visor, a way to, quote, lure people in, and it is not meant to be worn like this for longer than, say, 50 to 60 minutes. It's really weird to come up with this non-functional design just to lure people in on the image of the future, and still, during the demo, not even give them the comfortable head strap to test. It also wasn't as slim as promoted, in my experience, being only a little slimmer than Quest Pro maybe. There also was a magnetic cover on the front of the device, which staff said that they were mainly cosmetic. It is meant to hide the cameras and make the visor look more like sunglasses, and Renji said that this cover did not obstruct the view of the cameras at all. But everything about this design seemed to mask the fact that it's actually a VR headset. From the useless stems that are not meant to be used as stems, to the glossy front panel that has this unnecessary nose gap because the headset actually protrudes enough to have it like an oval shape, more traditional for VR. It's almost like Visor was trying really hard to convince users that they're getting something closer to a pair of sunglasses, but in reality, it is a VR headset. So let's talk about the actual demo, the moment that should have been the grand reveal has been the greatest letdown, as after hours of waiting for the software update to complete and for the headset to work, not one of them was functional. The hands-on demo of the product turned into a display of the device's physical characteristics, and maybe it was a very unfortunate malfunction at the worst possible moment, but the fact that there was no battery pack with Bluetooth and Wi-Fi built into them, which is essential for Visor to work, was odd. I couldn't understand why they didn't have any of these packs available for me to at least hold in my hand to compare it maybe to the pack with Apple Vision Pro if they were prepared to do the demo of the device to hundreds of people. A handful of people who managed to try the only unit that powered on minutes before the event was over could do nothing more than see the panels in action playing a video without head tracking, hand tracking, or any UI. Upload VR described it as a series of images and videos displayed across both panels, as if they were a connected monitor, with no head tracking of any sort. One image being shown across per eye displays meant that I had to only open one eye at a time. He also compared the visuals to Apple Vision Pro regarding pixel density, OLED display quality, and clarity. And while that was really promising to hear, because there was no UI and no tracking demonstrated, the way the product currently stands, I wouldn't be surprised if it ships by the end of 2025. So here's the thing. Driving to Austin, I didn't know that this is how the demo was gonna go. I was fully expecting a finished demo with most of the functionalities ready for testing. And that's why before the event, I had prepared many questions about the Visor, one of which was about mass production process, assuming that the product was close to being ready. After all, Visor uses micro OLED displays, the same technology used in Apple Vision Pro. These panels are difficult and expensive to manufacture. Vision Pro was the first mass-produced consumer VR product to use them because it's Apple, they can afford this product cost. Micro OLED panels have a low yield rate of about 50% or less. That basically means that, let's say for every 10 panels produced, about half of them may be of poor quality. And that drives up the cost because companies will still need to pay for all the panels, even if they only can actually use half of them. And that's assuming they don't use the poor quality ones. Just remember the Apple Vision Pro cost of $3,500, and that's nowhere near as thin as Visor attempts to be. So how does Visor plan to keep costs down while maintaining the high quality of these panels? That's a good question. They're pricing their headset at $400 to $500 with a subscription or $1,000 upfront. How are they managing to keep the low cost while producing at scale? These are serious questions that I would have asked if the product seemed ready, but it wasn't. And I have many other questions, big and small, about Visor, which I already sent to the team, and I hope that I will get answers to them soon. I'll list those questions down below in the description, so if you want, you can take a look, and feel free to add more questions in the comments. I will try to pass them on to the Visor team, and will cover their responses in the follow-up video. At the end of the day, hardware is only part of the equation. No matter how good the displays are, a headset without working software is nothing more than a flashy prop, and that's what this demo felt like. But I want to believe that Visor will get it right. After all, Immersed has transformed the workspace for so many VR users, and it has such high reviews on the Meta store. It's only natural to hope that Visor will eventually live up to the hype, and I'm more than willing to give them more time. And I don't mind waiting until the end of 2025 for a polished, fully functional product. I don't mind testing an unfinished prototype. Heck, I don't even mind if Renji is the only person who actually showcases the demo, but it just needs to work. What I do mind is the lack of transparency for consumers who are asked to pay full price of the product up front, and they're asked to put their trust, their money in the company without having seen the device in action. I don't like misleading marketing strategies, and Immersed needs to become more transparent with what they do. I, like many other attendees, felt misled. I took a day off from work, drove for 4 hours, and paid for my own hotel. Consumers were lured into this event with high expectations. Some were traveling hours or even across the globe like the Upload VR representative, only to find themselves staring at a powered-off device. This is simply not right. And the truth is, maybe Visor did work perfectly right before the event, and maybe indeed all hell broke loose at the wrong time right before the event, but the stakes were simply way too high for something like this to happen. The company is already under scrutiny for not showing the headset for so long. This was Visor's chance to shine and their chance to shut up all the naysayers once and for all, and this just felt like such a missed opportunity. So despite this underwhelming demo, I want to still remind you that the Immersed app is fantastic. All right, it has proven itself to really be transforming the virtual spaces. And because of this track record, I still believe that the company has the potential to deliver on these promises, even if it takes more time. But they need to remain open and transparent with their audience about the form factor, about the price, and about the shipping dates. And of course, about the software. And I hope that in the coming weeks I'll get to test the functional version of Visor and report on its actual features. So I hope that Immersed team are watching this. I am rooting for you, and I more than anything would love to try the working demo. In the meantime, there's been a lot of news in the VR field, and if you've missed them, check out my roundup of the biggest and the most exciting VR and XR news. I will soon be making another roundup because things are really heating up. I'll see you there.